It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the morning edition for Wednesday, the 31st of August, the last day of meteorological summer. Wow. Alabama's weather mostly dry today. Of course, all the attention is on the Gulf of Mexico, where a tropical storm will likely form later today. So a lot of things to discuss, so let's dive in. Upper air look. This is the 500 millibar look. Early this morning. That's the data from last night. And you can see ridging all across the southern U.S. The prime storm track, the mid-latitude westerlies are up on the Canadian border, which is what you expect in August. And underneath that, we have a weak flow from east to west. So any showers again today will move the wrong way, if you will. Mostly 70s on the board to start today. Birmingham at 77. We'll expect mid-90s today. Showers should be very, very hard to find. On the watch warning map, most of the issues involve the tropical systems, and we'll talk about those in detail here in just a second. First off, on the convective outlooks, we note there is a marginal risk of severe weather today for parts of Florida. That includes Tampa Bay, Orlando, Daytona Beach in advance of the tropical system. That should be a tropical storm soon, maybe by the time you watch this. And then tomorrow, there's the standard slight risk down in that zone. This includes Jacksonville, Gainesville, Tallahassee, Lake City, then up to Savannah as the system comes in tomorrow night. There could be a few isolated tornadoes in the spiral bands around the system. No part of Alabama involved. Then on day 3, which is Friday, a marginal risk on the Atlantic coast from near Jacksonville up to about Cape Hatteras. This is the rain for the next 5 days. For us, not much at all. This is valid through early Monday morning. The northern two-thirds of the state mostly dry, and even down in South Alabama, only a few widely scattered showers. The big rains with a tropical system south and east of here. So, tropical fans, here we go. Got 4 on the board. Tropical depressions 8 and 9, Hurricane Gaston, and we have a wave in the eastern Atlantic that's really void of convection. It's out near the Cape Verde Islands. Because there's no convection there and no development expected within 48 hours, it's lost its invest number. But this thing in the East Atlantic is just going to come on across. And again, we have seen many of the models that want to take this north of the Caribbean, but we don't know that at this point. You know, it's not even organized. Just something to watch in coming days, and we'll see if it survives, if it develops, and where it goes. But nobody knows for now. Gaston looking pretty good. Winds 120 miles an hour. Got that big old eye. This thing is going to possibly affect the Azores over the Labor Day weekend as a weakening tropical system becoming post-tropical, but obviously that's moving away from the United States. TD number 8. This thing just had a hard time. It's been forecast to become a tropical storm for 2 days. Hasn't happened yet. And it's moving away now from the United States. It's east of the Outer Banks, and that will be becoming post-tropical up in the North Atlantic late this week. But this is the one we're watching. Now, obviously, we got a big flare of convection overnight. The broad circulation center is not around that. It's not quite organized yet, but again, we'll get more reconnaissance data soon, and I would imagine this will be upgraded this morning to Tropical Storm Hermine. And again, if old number 8 gets Hermine by chance, this would be Ian. But a good chance this becomes tropical storm today. Here's the official track. No change on a major basis. A little adjustment to the left over the past 24 hours. Comes in somewhere east of Apalachicola, the circulation center. And then it kind of scoots up the Atlantic coast because of that adjustment to the left. That is going to be an issue for our friends in the Outer Banks for the Labor Day weekend up in North Carolina. Again, not from TD8, but from this one. Watches and warnings, there is a tropical storm warning up now from near Panama City to just north of Clearwater Beach. And we stress this does not include Gulf Shores or Destin or Pensacola Beach. And we also should note with that purple line there, that's a hurricane watch from near Apalachicola down to just north of Clearwater Beach, because this could be close to being a hurricane at the time of landfall. That's just kind of a course of least regret. The impact will be about the same. Rain is a direct result of this thing. The bigger numbers, the 6 to 10 inches, places like Tallahassee and Cedar Key, and maybe down to Tampa Bay. This is the WPC look over the next 5 days, and it's got about a foot of rain just northwest of Tampa Bay. But notice how North Alabama's just got nothing. I mean, we're going to see absolutely nothing from this. And again, this will actually help to pull down some drier air for the Labor Day weekend. This is the surge inundation map, and the greatest storm surge problems will not be in Panama City. They're going to be on the offshore flow of this thing. It's going to be around that Big Bend region, Appalachia Bay, then down to Cedar Key. Of course, there's not a lot of population in through there, but still, there certainly could be some significant storm surge flooding from this. So let's go in there and take a look at the maps, and we'll talk more about the impact here. This is the GFS at 1 o'clock today. Pretty good trough coming into the Pacific Northwest, ridging over the central U.S., and down below that, again, we'll just be hot and dry. Mid-90s, mostly sunny. A shower might pop up, but they'll be very small, very isolated. And the tropical system in the Gulf. Tomorrow, same thing for us. Low 90s, mostly sunny. The chance of a shower tiny, despite the fact that a surface boundary, a dry line type feature is going to come down from the north. This is tomorrow night, just after midnight, 1 a.m. Friday. And what should be a tropical storm is coming in the vicinity of Apalachicola or just east of there, based on the GFS. And again, we're dry. Remember, the main effect's going to be along and to the right of the circulation center. And it's not really important to focus on the center line because in a case like this, you'll see rain well removed from that and some storm surge. But again, the dry sector is going to be to the left of the center, most of the impact to the right of the center. The high-res NAM ramps it up, and it's a little farther west. It's got it a tad west of Apalachicola. This is 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and again, it's got it close to hurricane strength. That's 10-meter wind you're seeing there. So again, the main impact will be heavy rain, obviously, along and to the right of the circulation center landfall point, possibility of a few tornadoes, coastal flooding, and we should also mention there's going to be dangerous riptides all the way over to Gulf Shores. Now, Alabama's weather will not be affected by this. Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, the chance of rain is there, but not really big and not certainly related to this directly, but the surf will be very rough through Friday. But the good news, it'll be long gone by the Labor Day weekend. This is during the day Friday. Circulation center is inland over eastern Georgia. And again, we're on the dry side Friday for us. And let me just say this now. Friday, we start to see some drier continental air. The highs could very well drop back into the upper 80s on Friday. And this is Saturday. The Labor Day weekend begins. We're in a dry air mass. I know you see some green on there, but we're not going to mention any chance of rain. The sky mostly sunny, highs upper 80s. The humidity levels are down a bit. And the one thing to note here is that the tropical system, if this is right, and I think it probably is pretty close to being right, it's going to be around Cape Hatteras. So that's the problem. You've got TD8, which will be long gone, but this thing coming up could very well and probably will be an issue for the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So if you're going up there, be aware of that. Other than that, the rest of Florida will be fine. Typical chance of a few scattered storms. It's always going to be the case in Florida this time of the year, but the tropical system Labor Day weekend long gone for Florida, Georgia, Alabama, no issues here. Sunday, the thing's deepening east of Chesapeake Bay. Again, we're dry Sunday, and this is Monday, Labor Day. Again, we're in a dry air mass, and that thing is approaching the Jersey Shore up there. So as the tropical system, and it is probably going to be Hermine, leaves the Gulf, it's going to run the Atlantic coast, causing some Labor Day weekend problems for our friends in places like Cape Hatteras and on up toward Philadelphia and Baltimore and New Jersey and ultimately New York. And again, we're mostly dry. We're going to go with mostly sunny days and fair nights for the Labor Day weekend. No rain for football in the state. The Auburn-Clemson game should be fine. Highs in the upper 80s and lows in the 60s. Tuesday, same thing. You might consider a slight chance of a shower, but I just don't see a need to do that. And this is Wednesday. You've got a 594 ridge. Mostly sunny. Highs probably around 90. This is the end of the forecast period. This is Friday of next week, the 9th. Pretty good trough north of the state. A cold front will try and approach, and we'll see if that can make it down here. But Really, the numbers on the top end don't change much. You can see highs. And again, I do think we'll see upper 80s for the most part this weekend, but after that, we go back in the low and mid 90s. We'll get a good surge of cool air, but it's probably going to be sometime in late September. That's when those things tend to get here. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.